Let me start today's video with something important. If you've been following the channel, you'll know I've been talking a lot about safety, transparency, and the reality of working in construction. And today I want to dive into something that genuinely matters, something that protects every single person who steps foot on a site: RAMS, risk assessments, and method statements. Most people hear those words and switch off. But I'm telling you now, RAMS are one of the most misunderstood, undervalued, and badly handled parts of construction. And today I'm going to explain exactly why they matter, why I love them, and why the industry needs to take them far more seriously. Let me tell you something that shocks people every time I say it. I love RAMS more than anyone else in the construction industry. I love writing them, reviewing them, briefing my team into them, the whole lot. I love RAMS. Now, everyone knows what usually happens. You get to site, the supervisor hands you a paper folder and says, "Sign that please, mate." And that's it. No explanation. No time to digest anything. Just a signature. And let's be honest, half the workforce on UK sites are being briefed into RAMS by someone who doesn't speak their language. They're handed a document full of critical safety information, and before they've even had a chance to understand it, they're already on the tools. Most operatives just sign because that's the culture. Get it done, get on site, crack on. But here's the truth nobody talks about. Your RAMS are your insurance policy. If you go out on site and you follow the method that's been agreed, signed off and reviewed, you're covered. If you do something different, something not in the RAMS, something to get the job done, you're not insured, full stop. I write site-specific RAMS every time, not just changing the address. And I review RAMS constantly. I don't just tick the boxes. And I've changed how I do it. Everyone shies away from using computers on site, but I don't. I brief my supervisors through Microsoft Teams. I send them an invite. They come to the meeting logged in as themselves. We go through the RAMS properly, and I transcribe the meeting. That way, I can say hand on heart that I briefed the right person into the document, and they can brief their operatives properly on site. And honestly, it covers my arse. Briefing supervisors before the start date means we can work together, make changes as a team, and fix anything that doesn't make sense. If something in the RAMS isn't how the job will actually be done, they can tell me and I will listen. They're the supervisors. They're the experts. I'm not pretending to know more than them. I take my lead from their experience. And here's the beautiful part. Digital RAMS are everywhere now. You can have your risk assessments and method statements on your phone. You can read them properly before you even get to site. You can digest the information instead of being thrown into the deep end. And you can refer to them out on site without hunting for a paper copy in the office. I've worked in construction for 17 years, Tier 1 contractors, social housing, new builds. I even spent time helping software teams develop construction security products. Now I'm back as a subcontractor on the other side of the table, and I feel like I have more responsibility than ever to make sure RAMS are done properly and that I understand the job as well as the supervisors do. Because RAMS aren't paperwork. They're not a tick box exercise. They're not something you sign just to get on site. RAMS are how we keep people safe. RAMS are how we protect ourselves. RAMS are how we make sure everyone goes home at the end of the day. And that's why, genuinely, I love RAMS. But honestly, I think they need renaming. MSRAs, method statements, and risk assessments. Because you can't work out the risks if your method statement isn't on point. But that's a conversation for another video. Thanks for listening. And if you found this helpful, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one.